My name's Timo, and I've been skateboarding for about 10 years maybe. And I don't skate in contests. I don't skate for competition. I just skate for fun. And it's I like to ride skateboards in drainage ditches most of the time because it's a real laid-back kind of atmosphere, and there's no rules. There's no real competition, and it's like it's more of a fun kind of thing because there's no payment, there's no rules. That's the best thing, is the no rules, because you can go and you can do what you want. You can go and you can bring beer and you can hang out and drink beer and have a good time, and at most places you can't really do that, like at skate parks where you pay to go in. It's not something where you can get air like some of the other places and you go up in the air and do tricks and things like that. It's more of a on the ground kind of thing, where you're always on the ground and just rolling on the banks, and there's no real fancy tricks or anything like that. It's more of an old style kind of thing where you're just rolling along and getting the smooth feeling of rolling along on the concrete. That's really what it's all about, is just that feeling of effortless motion, moving really fast but just being on the concrete. The kind of tricks that I like to do are mostly grinds. That's where you go up and you grind your little truck things on concrete, and it makes a really loud sound. The louder the better. And sometimes sparks fly when you do a grind, and that's really cool. That's one of the neat things about it. And I like to do other kind of things, but there's really not too much that you can do in the ditch. I mean, there's certain things that you can do on the edges, but it's mostly just kind of a carving. Carving is what it's called, is rolling along and just carving up on one side and then going down the other side and going back and forth. There's not really much of a chance of getting hurt at the ditch either. I mean, you can fall and get some little scars on yourself or anything, but if you fall, you're only falling a couple of feet, and you get a little scar or a little burn or something, some road rash. But besides that, there's no real fear to it, because when you're riding somewhere else and you're going up in the air and flipping backwards and things, and you're that far up in the air, if you fall the wrong way, you're going to break your arm or something like that. But when you're at the ditch, you're just kind of rolling along, and most of the time if you fall, you can just kind of jump off and just run along and just let somebody else take their turn. Everybody gives you a real hard time about it if you don't do any fancy schmancy tricks or anything like that. If you want to just roll in and work off a hangover from the night before and just roll around, then nobody says, oh, well, you're a weenie because you're just rolling around. But if you want to go up and make sparks and concrete fly off the back of your skateboard every time you do something, then people are just like, oh, hey, well, that was really cool. Well, the ditch I've been talking about is one in particular. It's called Whip and Dip, and that's my favorite place ever to skate because it's real conveniently located, and it's really fun. There's other ditches, and people say a drainage ditch is a drainage ditch, but it's not, because there's some that have the little divots down at the bottom where it goes clack, clack when you hit it, and that just doesn't work. But Whip and Dip, the reason it's so good is because it's got what transition is, the little curved part down at the bottom, so you're not hitting just a straight angle. It's just a real smooth part that you can ride on that makes it really easy. And there's other ones that aren't as good, and there's other ones that are better, but Whip and Dip will always be my favorite. My skateboard is not really like most other ones because mine is extra long. Most average skateboards are 30 inches, and this one is an extra 6 inches, and people say, oh, well, 6 inches, that's just 6 inches, but it really does make a difference because most people can't ride this one. Most people can't ride my skateboard at all because it's so big. And it's really advanced. What I had at first was clay wheels, which is just unheard of now. Clay wheels, and now we got these neat urethane things that are soft, that you can, that roll, and precision bearings like machine bearings instead of the crummy little ball bearings. Oh, I'm sorry. And it's too heavy for me to keep in my lap. And they see me riding in the drainage ditch and they go, wow, look at that guy, look at that guy. Sometimes they say, look at that man over there with a beard, and they think it's a little kid sport, but it's really not, because I've seen little kids out there that we're fifth grade, fourth, fifth grade, you know, little kids that are 9 and 10 years old out there, and they're riding right alongside me, and I'm 23. You know, it's kind of a real diversified group of people that ride skateboards.